Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Spyder's Corner. I'm Mark, and I wanted to finally get some of my thoughts down for a Nintendo Switch review. It's been about a month now that I've had it, and I've played a lot during that month. So I wanted to finally just give you guys kind of my thoughts on the hardware itself, the launch lineup, and some of the other things going on with the Switch. So this is the abridged video version for those of you who don't want to read the wall of text that I have, but we'll get right into it. So first off, I did want to mention in my unboxing video for the Switch, I talked about the charging shell for the Joy-Con controllers, and I mentioned that it has an internal battery so you can charge them while they're in that shell, and that's actually not the case. It is literally just a shell with a USB port that allows you to charge the Joy-Cons with that USB while they're connected to the shell. So sorry about that if there's any confusion. That might not necessarily be worth the $30 now, but it's essentially a first-party cradle that you can use to charge the controllers if you have an extra set or have them constantly disconnected from the system. So still not necessarily a bad thing. We'll jump right into it then. So the launch. Like I said, it's been about a month now, and it's still pretty fantastic. If you're looking just at the launch lineup of games specifically, it's very thin. Nintendo, you might be kind of questioning them, like why they decided to go with such a short list of games in the launch. I think it's just honestly that they had faith in Breath of the Wild, and that faith has not been misplaced. The game is fantastic. If you're looking at the list of physical titles, like Breath of the Wild was really the only must-have. A lot of people probably picked up 1-2 Switch because it's kind of like your Wii Sports, where it shows off what the system can do, but it's not going to be much more than just a party game that you sit down with and play a couple times here and there with friends. Just Dance was another one. That's another just party game. Skylanders Imaginators for a younger crowd generally, but if you're into that, there's that too. Bomberman, Super Bomberman R, which I've heard has just gotten mixed reviews. Just a lot of these titles seem like they would be secondary, tertiary options. I would be forced to buy them because there's not much else to play, and that's not a good reason to buy them, but I like having new things for my toy that I just bought, so that's the main reason I can see those selling really well. But Breath of the Wild, still the main reason to pick that up. Moving on to the hardware though, the Switch itself, it's a very solid piece of hardware. I mean, it's not perfect by any means, but for what it is and what it does, it is great. Start with the interface. Not a whole lot going on right now. You kind of have game tiles that line up across the middle, that games that you've played or installed, if you've downloaded any from the eShop. Underneath that, you have various options for news articles that Nintendo updates regularly with new games coming out, demos, videos, and other just kind of little notices that they post there. You have your eShop, which is kind of sparse at the moment as well. That one, the main things right now, I would say, in my opinion, are I Am Setsuna, which you could have already purchased on PS4 Vita or Steam. So not a huge draw there necessarily, but that one's a good one. Snipper Clips is another great downloadable title on the eShop right now. That is up to 4-player co-op. Definitely recommend that one if you're looking for just something else to play with people while you're sitting on the couch. But yeah, other than those, the pickings are pretty slim still. But Breath of the Wild should be holding people over for a good bit. Moving on from the interface though, the controller setups. There are so many controller setups for this thing and different ways to play it. My personal favorite has been with the Pro Controller. The Pro Controller itself is much larger than the Joy-Cons. The buttons are larger. It feels nicer in your hands. And not only that, it has all the features that the Joy-Cons and system themselves have. So you have your rumble, you have your NFC, you have the gyroscopic tilt controls like accelerometer type stuff. And to top it off, you got about 40 hours of battery life on a single charge with that. So if you can find a Pro Controller that's definitely what I would recommend. My next favorite way to play has been just the Joy-Con in a controller shell. So, like I said, I have the charging shell and the regular shell, but either of those works. I don't think the buttons are too small. People like to complain about that, but it's been fine for me. You just adjust your grip a little bit and it works just as well. It's a good setup still. Next on down the list, I actually have only played a couple times like this, but with the Joy-Con just completely disconnected and separate, like you would hold a Wii Remote and Nunchuck from like the Wii U. It feels a little weird at first because I mean, there's nothing tethering you together, and that's like your peak laziness. You just want to sit there, hands dropped to your sides, play and just zone out. That's a good option, but actually getting to my least favorite has been playing it in handheld mode. For me, the reason is I have to shift my grip down so then the controller sits in the palm of my hand so the weight is supported, and in doing so causes hand cramps, discomfort for long play sessions. That's not to say I won't play that way, because one of the huge draws for the system is to just pick it up and take it on the go. Just if I have other options, I'm probably going to take those other options. The battery life. I did finally have a chance to test out charging through my backup battery that I bought for Pokemon Go. Backup battery was able to charge more than was being depleted from playing. That's good to know that if I need it, I have that option and I can keep playing on the go regardless. If that's one of your concerns, let it go to rest, go pick out one of those batteries. That, I think, pretty much sums it up. The hardware itself obviously isn't as powerful as your PS4 or your Xbox Ones, but Nintendo's never really been interested in competing on those grounds anyway. And they make do with the power that they have in their consoles, and they definitely polish their titles to make the best use of what they do have under the hood. So the Switch is no different. It's nice to just pick it up quick and easy, get it on the run, keep playing your games, and have that console quality gameplay, but in a handheld. And I think it's cool and interesting that Nintendo continues to shake up kind of the way we do things, the way we play. If you haven't had a chance to play it, or were on the fence about getting one, I would say definitely get one if you have the means. That's my take on the Nintendo Switch. Appreciate you guys for watching, listening, reading, however you're consuming this. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Take it easy.